We're live and I didn't hit the video. Welcome one, welcome all to episode 274 of the Xbox Expansion Pass, recorded on Saturday, May 3rd, 2025. I am your host, Luke Lohr, the InsipidGhost, joined by my co-host, the intrepid Captain Logun. Today, we'll be discussing the massive news of Xbox console sales, controller sales, game sales, all going up. The prices are rising across the board for everything but Game Pass, ? Of course, there's also news of South of Midnight hitting 1 million players. We've got GTA 6 being delayed. Polygon and Giant Bomb shut down. There's an Epic and Fortnite lawsuit that has been won. It has been quite a week. As always, we like to start the show by offering words of kindness that have made our gaming weeks better. But first, Logan, how are you, my friend?
I am struggling with my sleep schedule. You ever? I don't know. When you get to my age, you're gonna run into the situation, and I know you already take naps.
Yeah, how old are you?
42.
Yeah. 42. Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha. You want to take naps, but you don't want to take naps because you'd rather just stay up and go to bed at a normal, decent hour, but you don't. So then you kind of pass out like halfway through the evening, and then you wake up and you're like, well, I can't do anything sleep wise right now, so I'm just gonna stay up. So then 2 o'clock rolls around and you're like, all right, I really should try and get to sleep because I got stuff in the morning. And that's where I was at. But other than that, doing really well. I've been hitting World of Warcraft really hard because they had a sale on the new expansion that's like a season old. And I'm like, oh my god, I need to go in and actually play the season. So I'm back in WoW. It's consuming, all consuming.
I wonder, because that
never fails.
I just want to point out that I was like, hey, do you want to do this project? Do you want to do this project? You're like, no, I'm not sure, maybe not. And I'm like, he's playing something else. Like something else is happening. Like I'm like, normally Logan likes doing XEP stuff. And like you always do. I'm not dunking on you. But the bigger thing is, I know your attention's elsewhere.
Yeah.
You don't fool me.
It is 100% leveling and getting gear right now. It's so bad.
Crazy talk, I say. Crazy talk. Oh man. Well, Logan,
are we going to address the elephant in the room for the audio listeners? There it is. There's the thumbs up. It's so nice to see Fallout Boy this week. I wanted to, if I may, I wanted to jump into words of kindness because there's two groups of people that I wanted to thank. First off, I wanted to thank off the WoW community of content creators out there because they have been helping me get caught up on like the last season of WoW and like whenever the expansion came out and stuff, and I didn't get into it. I also want to thank Jeff Bezos because the man has made available the Fallout Vault Boy suit in such a timely manner that you can get it and not have to make it and then wear it on a show and then make little shorts about it. And it looks like I feel like I just, like I said on Blue Sky, I feel like I just got some new perk cards. I'm going to get like, some ammunition back from my machine gun, like rad damage isn't going to be so bad. I'm not going to get as many rads from drinking dirty water. Like, I feel good right now. I feel like I'm like, dang, man, I found a Pip Boy. That's awesome. Well,
for audio listeners that do not know, I am wearing the Fallout Boy or the Pip Boy or whatever, the Fallout Kid, that guy's costume right now. Just the jacket, just because we're filming. But I did just put up a YouTube short in thank you to all the XEP community as they help us on the road to Summer Game Fest. I see some amazing people in chat already being supportive. Nissa Hauer here, the Nerd Chat, Anubis316, Freight Conductor, Bacon Gaming. It's good. Nicholas Johnson, good to see all of you. Anubis says I should wear that to the airport. No. No. I'm wearing the Batman Crocs to the airport. Plus, this thing's very warm. I have to wear this suit to the YouTube theater for the Summer Game Fest standard showcase. So that is what I will be doing. I think like 90% sure, unless there's some logistical fail. I will say I'm not quite happy how it looks in the crotchal and belly regions. And I don't want to be super unprofessional, but also want to have fun with people. So like look at the short. Enjoy the short for sure. That's my thank you. Clutch Kwando in the house. Good to see you. It is good to see all of you. I will say in this fundraising endeavor, it has been fun, nerve-wracking, concerning. Logan, you have bravely agreed to your bean boozling today, which I honestly think this is too little for your safety. Every $5 super chat, Logan's going to do a bean boozle, and we'll let people choose the color. But I'm going to do
the color's random. I have no choice in the color. The way
you could just open the thingy.
I know. Well, you open the top and then you pull it up, and then it pops a bean.
Oh, I didn't know that's how it worked.
And then whatever that is, that's what I eat. So
okay.
There is a percentage chance that it'll be something that I like. It'll be a percentage chance that it'll be something I don't like. I've already tested this once. I got Band-Aid, which was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was still kind of bad. So I have coffee and water next to me to kind of help out with this. But yeah, for $5 super chats during the conversation of like what we're talking about, I'll make a point to pop open a Bean Boozled and do that. You are not nearly as cheap as I am.
No,
but that's okay.
Real talk. So context. Oh boy, see, they're already getting you started. I like this.
Started.
All right. Hold on.
Okay.
Context for all.
Yeah.
I am not nearly as cheap as you because I smelled this and almost lost all the food I had. Tried it again, tried the smell again later on. And my wife was like, babe, you can't do that. Like, she knows me very well. She's like, you won't be able to handle it. So I'm 10 times more expensive in this particular category. I will do every $50. We are $350 away from our goal. And then anything else is helping us with rides and food and stuff like that. But Freight Conductor got you right off the bit. He said, $5 super chat, close your eyes and get this party started. What color is the bean?
Well, there's two. There's orange and there's black.
It's Freight Conductor's choice, I suppose. It's his choice. Oof. I feel so bad for you, buddy. Oof. Edward, good to see you, bud. Yep. All right, there goes the first bean. The first bean is in. The reactions are being watched. I hope you guys are able to clip these better than I can.
That's actually pretty good.
Oh, you had a good one. What was it?
Yeah. I think it's a peach.
You got a peach one. All right. Okay. He got a peach one. He's lucky on that. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yep. Yeah, you got lucky on that one. Whew.
Yeah, I did. Dude, we have it's going to be distracting for sure. But it is a week to be jumping into, and I feel like, fundraising's good because we may need to be doing this in the future if we want another console.
It is something, man. I'll tell you what. So here's the thing. It has been a really strange week in gaming, a very strange week. Did you say your words of kindness? We did get distracted off the bat.
The WoW creator content for catching me up, and then Jeff Bezos for getting you a Vault Boy suit within 2 days.
Okay. Cool. Yes. I have had an incredible week in the gaming space, a very difficult week in workspace, but it's that time of year. It's going to be rough at work nonstop. But in the gaming space, I published an article over on Season Gaming about my Gears of War video, which I hope people are able to check out at some point. Enjoy that one, please. I put up an interview with Night Dive Studios head Stephen Kick, which had some really cool info about Blade Runner, had some info about Doom, and some info about Star Wars. And I currently have an interview that is being held, interestingly, by Bethesda for review. They want to watch it before it goes public, but it's about Doom 1 and 2 and then Legacy of Rust. So it's not about Dark Ages. It's just about the previous Dooms, but they want to clear that one. So I've had a cool week, a frustrating week, because I'm like, clear this video. It's not a big deal, but they're so busy prepping Doom, the Dark Ages content, that it's a lot. I will say also, for any listener that has been listening, they know how much of a Doom fan I am. I am stoked because I am reviewing Doom the Dark Ages. I have been playing Doom the Dark Ages. I will have a review up on Doom the Dark Ages the moment embargo lifts. But that is all I can say on that one. That is all I can say. So there you go. Oh no. Oh, I love it. Clutch Kwando says your luck is about to run out, Logan. 10 beans. Now Logan,
beans.
you can't do, I will tell you right now, I'm not allowing you to do all 10 at one time.
You can't just mash them all.
You can't mash them all. No, sir.
Okay.
I need clips because it's hard to get clips. So, you can take these periodically throughout. Hey, Beans in the chat. Good to see you. Beans is going to be the reciprocant of one of our XEP merch things. So I have to pull this up and I have to push down to get a bean. Is that how this works? Because I have to do one too, and we're gonna do this at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get two.
Down. Nothing's happening. Maybe I broke it.
You just lift up and then push down.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, black or weird colored?
Black. I'll take a black as well.
All right, I'm terrified. Okay, I will tell you right now. If I get sick, I'm not doing it anymore because I want to do the show. All right. All right. All right, here we go.
There we go.
Oh my.
It was black licorice, but I don't like black licorice.
Oh, this is what is this? This is burnt rubber. Oh, it's burnt rubber.
I almost want to trade you.
Oh man. Not a fan. Not a fan. Oh my.
Yeah. That's yeah, I don't want to masticate on that anymore. That's kind of gross. Okay.
All right.
I set a timer for 5 minutes, so I'll take another one in like 5 minutes.
Okay. Cool.
Damn you, Clutch Kwando.
Thank you, Clutch Kwando. But also, damn you. Y'all hit the like button, I guess. Oof. Nissa Hauer says it's a $2 super chat. Roll out that beautiful bean footage. Thank you, Nissa. All right, that's $2 on the so $3 more, and there's another bean for you, buddy. Oh my. Okay. All right. So huge week in gaming news.
Yeah.
Huge week in gaming news. The night dive interview we put up, Red B says was really great. You could really tell he appreciated that you did your homework on the questions you posed. Thank you, Red Beast. I appreciate you. Thank you. I hope so. So Logan, I'm gonna get my time code here. Big week for Xbox on a number of levels, good and bad. Doom: The Dark Age is out for review, going to be hitting all platforms. A lot of good news in the South of Midnight space, but none of that news overshadows the fact that the console prices are going up. It was announced by Microsoft that that the cost of Xbox consoles, controllers, and accessories are all going up by significant amounts. The Series S is going up from $300 to $379. The Series X is going up from $500 to $600. This, of course, in direct response, reaction, and dealing with the 145% tariffs imposed by the Trump administration. We've already seen a number of these price hikes in other parts of the industry, but it is certainly strange, hard-hitting, and odd for it to hit Xbox. I've heard some shows go to, devolve into yelling and being angry. Others just pontificating about whether or not it was the right choice or not. There's a lot of ways to break this down. I do want to point out for any listener that PlayStation has already seen price increases in other markets for console prior to these tariffs years ago at this point. So this kind of brings Xbox in line with them, but it sounds like copium to word it that way because Xbox is not even close in terms of console sales to the other platforms. And for them to be raising the price of their consoles when they're in such a vast third place in hardware is surprising. All the more interesting, Logan, they came out and basically Xbox revenue is up. So it's really, there's a lot of ways to approach this. You could approach it in some ways with hopium. You could approach it in other ways with just factual, analytics. What is your take?
I hate this.
Okay. All right.
I hate this so much, dude. This is exactly how you kill consoles, man. Like, this is how Xbox justifies killing consoles. They're going to price themselves out of the market because, you know, at this point, if you're like, can you imagine the folks like who don't have the skills to like jump in and iFixit this kind of thing if your console breaks or if your console just can't get fixed and you need to get a new one? Imagine buying like 5 years ago a console for $500 and it breaks, and now you have to go out and you have to spend like, oh, what is it? The Series X is now $600. You have to spend more money just to get the console actually like replaced. So I mean, I'm already starting to see deals for Mario 64 where he's actually calling out where in some places Xbox Series systems are the normal price. And I'm like, wow, that's bad. That's pretty bad. And Xbox Series X, the 2 terabyte version, is $730 in the US. At that point, I don't see anyone ever buying an Xbox when they could literally spend that money on a PS5 Pro and just get an actually better system than what it was at launch. And it genuinely makes me wonder, like, when is the shoe going to drop for PlayStation? Because we know, like, Nintendo came out, they released a $400 or $450 console. They're raising the price of games to $80 with Mario Kart World, which is, I get it. They can't justify charging less for that when they know that 50% of people are going to buy it based on the sales from their Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? But it sucks so much to have to sit here, and you know, like Sony like that $700 for that PS5 Pro, that's going to turn into $800 soon. That's the PS5 with the discless version, whatever that is. Expect a bump in that too. Like, you are not going to be able to buy
all of it.
Huh?
Expect a bump in all of it. The places where the parts for these systems are manufactured are being tariffed out the wazoo. Without a doubt. Now, the interesting thing is that PlayStation raised their prices, and I want to say roundabouts 2022, especially in the UK, which adjusted for Brexit and some of the stuff that was going on. There's another bean from Captain Logun. We'll see how that goes. Reaction. He's not. This man's not. It was toothpaste. See, this is not fair. You play a scary game, you're like, oh, that scared me. You eat a Bean Boozer, you're like, oh, that's bad. Okay. But yeah, so PlayStation, it's already raised its prices. It did so with market reaction, and it didn't seem to phase it in terms of console sales. The PS5 doing extremely well. Compare that to the Xbox Series S and X consoles, which to me are the best designed Xbox consoles, bar none.
Yeah.
Very good consoles.
With the best software support on it too. Like, hands down, the software support on the Xbox Series consoles, quick resume, you've got auto FPS, auto HDR, all that stuff. It's like, they're so much better than what PlayStation was offering, especially at launch. It's wild. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, so you're on a timer for Clutch Quandos, but Anubis just hit you with a $5. You doing that one now, or are you waiting?
I'll do it now. That's fine.
All right. Yeah. While you do that one, I'll read his super chat. $5 super chat from Anubis says, looks like Xbox is saying their consoles are premium. If you don't like it, you can still play games anywhere else. Not a fan, but will still buy. All right. We're going to break that thought down after you do this, Bean. Let's see how this one goes. Please have a reaction of some kind. Oh, we got him. We got him. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. What was that one? What was that one? I love it. I love it. We got him. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Oh, no. Blowing out made it worse.
What was it?
I don't know.
It was bad is what it was. Oh, this is great. I'm so sorry, audio listeners, but this is great. Oh, man.
Oh,
this is good.
Okay, that one was Stinky Socks.
Stinky Socks. Ooh, okay. All right. That was great. Oh, man. It's a good day.
That was gross.
Yeah, the coffee's going to help. I can't imagine that's a good thing. I totally lost where we are. This is awesome. So let's go to the software aspect of this is what you mentioned. So Xbox, with them raising their prices, I still argue they're the best deal in gaming, but without a doubt, people are going to miss that because we've known Xbox to struggle with some of their messaging. Game Pass has been a tremendous value. Xbox Play Anywhere, a tremendous value. In fact, they just announced 150 million cloud subscribers. That is the future of gaming, is not hardware based at all. That is why you see them removing that particular barrier, because people did not want to engage in Xbox hardware for one reason or another. I've never quite understood it post Xbox One standard. Like once the One S, One X came out, it was good hardware. The problem is the software at the time didn't fully back it up, but now, I mean, they're firing on all cylinders. In the last, 3 months, Logan, Avowed, South of Midnight, Doom's in a week, 2 weeks rather. Towerborn just came out. Oblivion Remaster just came out. Clair Obscura is on Game Pass. It is shocking to me that Xbox doesn't move more, but they have also told their customers not to move consoles. So there's a number of ways to take this.
Yeah, they genuinely like they. At no point has Microsoft said you need to buy our console.
Mm-hmm.
And they have had every reason that they could have this generation. Mm-hmm. Like they could have if they wanted to be like other console companies out there, they could have absolutely stuck to their guns and made things exclusive and said, "Hey, you want to play Call of Duty? You got to buy an Xbox." Mm-hmm. They could have done that. It was within their right to do that as purchasing Activision Blizzard, but they didn't. They could have done that with all the Bethesda games. They could have said, yeah, you know what? Actually, Doom's going to be Xbox exclusive. Mm-hmm. You know, Starfield's still exclusive, surprisingly. I think. Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone was expecting that. But, oh, excuse me. God, that's gross.
There it is.
Oh. But it's one of those things. It's like, it's really bad right now that Xbox, I think reportedly is somewhere in the 30 million range compared to like the 75 that Sony is at and the 150 that the Switch was. It's terrible, dude. This is like the worst case scenario for Xbox fans. Mm-hmm. If you were to have folks coming from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One with TV, mm-hmm. looking at the Xbox One and knowing that console sold better than the Xbox Series X, it's ridiculous. The fact that all of the accessories are going up, I can accept. Like, okay, that's a better margin. I understand that. To sell the console at a higher cost, though, dude. I remember when consoles used to go down in price, and that was like the heyday. Like, I remember when the GameCube went from 150 to $100, and I was like, that's a smoking deal for a GameCube. That's a good deal. But that console didn't sell well, so they had to drop the price.
Yep.
Here it is. We're having flops for Series X and Series S, and they're raising the cost of this. It's insane. But I mean, that doesn't even get into the whole, like, now we have confirmation that Xbox is going to be raising the cost of games.
Yes,
and
$80.
Yeah,
for a standard game.
And it's wild to me because I thought the whole point of the cost of games not going up was because we were going multi-platform. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought that we were going to be shipping our games on other console platforms to make up for the cost of keeping games affordable. Mm-hmm. So now I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm like, well, okay, well, when is Game Pass going to go up again? Mm-hmm. Because if they're willing to raise the cost of the base game, and let's be perfectly honest, these games that they say maybe costing $80, there's no guarantee that those games are going to be worth it. A lot of people are looking at Mario Kart, one of the most successful game franchises that Nintendo has ever made, and saying, I don't know if Mario Kart's going to be fun enough to justify $80. And I'm like, really? Mario Kart?
But you played it before. Is it special enough? And mind you, I love games that I've played before. I'm not dunking on that as a concept, right? Like, give me another Arkham, please. I'm desperate for it. Give me more of the things that I want. However, no new experiences, less consumer friendly. Like, the problem with what Nintendo has done is they're offering less and charging more. The problem with PlayStation is that
I don't know if
console is well done and they're not giving you software. Xbox now, mind you, is giving you more value for your dollar. They are giving you Xbox Play Anywhere. They're giving you incredible software now at a time when their primary console counterpart does not. Xbox is still doing far more, but for one reason or another, the community has just said no, thank you, and I do get surprised by that.
Yeah, it's a shame. It really sucks because I feel like this was the best generation that Xbox has had outside of the 360. This was the generation that I was expecting the upswing. You know, it seems like Microsoft tried real hard when they first launched and they did well. Where they it was down for the Xbox, it was up for the 360, it was down again for the One, but now we're just going down again for the Series, and it's like, well, at this point, I don't anticipate Xbox actually keeping their promise of having future generations of consoles, because if they can't sell this stuff now,
right?
Why are they going to even try a new generation? Like it doesn't even make sense to me. Like if I'm a business owner, I'm sitting there and I gotta answer to Satya, who's sitting there like, hey, you guys need to put AI in all your stuff if you want to keep this thing going, because there's no way we're gonna take any of the billions of dollars that we have right now and afford to just give away consoles, because that's not how business works.
So a couple comments in chat that I want to address. First one coming from our boy Abdel 114. Good to see you, bud. Redfall was the best game to kick off at $70. Yeah. So stumbling into this generation with weaker software definitely handicapped any momentum Xbox could have generated. You look at the flub launch of Halo Infinite, which launched Halo Infinite was good. Follow-up content, non-existent. So you look at the flub there. Halo Infinite was a good game. The problem is
it was a fun campaign. It was a fun campaign, but it was a flawed launch because they didn't have a co-op at launch.
Right. And they didn't have stuff to keep their ecosystem in the multiplayer space alive. So I grant you that, yes.
The multiplayer system, as much as their seasonal pass system is fantastic, their monetization and design around cores for armor was terrible, and they just did not have the content. Like Halo, for all intents and purposes, is done well since, but that game had some real bad mismanagement at launch, and the fact that they had to delay it, and the fact that they had to delay Starfield, like the two big games for Xbox, it's just like they aren't nailing the expectations, and they're coming out with poor messaging. It's in hindsight, yeah, I probably should see the tea leaves and be able to predict that this console generation isn't going to go well, because Microsoft keeps talking out of both sides of their mouth on this one, and the adding the cost of the consoles, the accessories, and the games going up because of tariffs and inflation. It's like, cool. So I don't know. I mean, my Nintendo Switch may be the last console I invest in.
It very much might. And to kind of continue that thought train, Xbox launches the Series SX, Halo Infinite, then you have Redfall, Starfield. There's another bean, everybody. Starfield, Forza Motorsport, all intended AAA products that just didn't light the market on fire. I am not saying they're bad or good. They didn't light the market on fire. Logan is not reacting to this bean. This one is okay. We're safe.
Yeah, that's a strawberry banana smoothie.
He's safe on this one. Yeah. Then you look at some of Xbox's major wins in terms of releases. The major games that came out, did well, entered into Game Pass. Indiana Jones, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Those who came in. I would argue Avowed, very good. For South of Midnight to again be exclusive the way Avowed was and hit 1 million players. Fantastic. You love seeing that. Like
Compulsion came out, said that they were success.
Right. Absolutely. I feel like there's another one in there that I am missing as far as first party.
Hi-Fi Rush, a fantastic game.
award-winning, not successful.
Yeah.
Those are, and again, we're talking about in terms of like reaching mass players, doing well, that kind of thing.
Oh man.
So something to take in there. Had those things arrived sooner and been more aptly received, I think you would have a different conversation as far as hardware sales. But I don't think it would be that different. I think there is long been known since the early Xbox One and PlayStation 4 days that there is a cap on just how many consoles can be sold without doing something extraordinarily different. Shout out to Addy Zero, member for 9 months, says bot extraordinaire in here. Salute. Thank you. And thank you to anybody who, by the way, is a supporter by being a channel member or a patron. We need to make sure we read those patrons this week, Logan. Sometimes we get distracted with our stuff here. I'm going to forget. And I need to up your bean count on that one. But I really think there's a world where, regardless of how well Xbox does, they go multi-platform. That said, they have gone multi-platform. Forza and Indy and Call of Duty are all multi-platform. Hi-Fi Rush is in other places. Doom in 2 weeks will be in multiple points. Obviously, multiple reviewers from other sites are reviewing Doom on their own. PlayStation and PC, etc. So this, I think, was inevitable given the costs. It is very poorly timed, I feel, to have the price increase news arrive at the same time we get information that Xbox's revenue is up overall. Shout out to Pablo Ray, member for 1 month. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Xbox hit a couple milestones. Record streaming numbers in the cloud space, 150 million hours for the quarter. That's incredible. More people than ever are now in the Xbox ecosystem, with Xbox games and services hitting 500 million users across all platforms. You have to imagine that includes Minecraft, which saw a comfortable boost after the success of the movie. It includes World of Warcraft and other elements. Hell, Logan, did you know Overwatch 2 got a really good kick up with their new mode where they imitated Rivals?
Yeah,
which I thought was really cool to see that, because
they
what
also
it
put
means,
Gundam Wing in there too.
You know why I like that? I'll tell you why I like that right now. One, I'm a diehard superhero fan, so I enjoy Rivals on that. But Rivals is a great video game.
Yeah.
Overwatch 2 has been dead for years at this point, since it's a rival. It was DOA. That said, Rivals ignited a fire, and you got a market reaction to it. And people that we have to change in order to evolve and be better. And when franchises do this, it's really cool. Really cool. So I'm really happy for the Overwatch community, because that only is going to make Rivals better. It's going to make Overwatch better. And Xbox has enough characters in its pantheon that if they wanted to put their IP into Overwatch and make it worthwhile, are you kidding me? I could be fighting with Doomslayer and Master Chief and Marcus in Overwatch 2, playing the gameplay that I enjoy. Cool. There's a world where that exists too. All right. But to go back to this xCloud console element, hardware is just down. It's down everywhere. The Switch 2 is going to arrive. It'll be an injection of hope, but I truly don't think it's going to move the market. I just don't think it's going to move the market en masse the way the Switch 1 did, the way, in theory, GTA would have done in terms of getting people excited about video games, because costs are just too expensive. Nintendo raised prices. Its console is not cheap. It's giving you kind of bare minimum software at launch. I mean, maybe launch software is a little weird. He's going for another bean, y'all. So I think cloud and PC are the places to be. Another shout out. Meanwhile, hardware revenue is down year over year 6%. PC Game Pass grew 45% year over year. Look at that face. Oh, man. I got to tell you, audio listeners, you're missing out. PC Game Pass grew 45%. In a world where everything else is down, PC Game Pass going up in a place where you don't pay for your online, where you don't pay for this, that, or the other, Logan is going to lose it. He's going to lose it, y'all. Which one was that?
Oh, that was dead fish.
Ew, gross. Ugh. Gross. I love it. Oh, man.
How do they do it so well? I know that smell.
I know it's wild. So, it's bad timing for me to think that they're saying, hey, tariffs and all these other factors are making us raise prices. By the way, we're profitable. Not a good look. Not a good look at all.
Yeah.
I will point out, Logan, I don't think it matters. This is honest to God truth here. I don't think it matters that they raise the price of the console sales, because if you haven't bought an Xbox by now, there's nothing that's going to make you buy an Xbox
No.
because they don't have exclusive-ish stuff.
So yes, but also it is one of those things that there are like end of the generation adopters. I was one of those for PlayStation 4.
But then the system was so much cheaper generationally compared at the time.
That's why I'm saying, like,
I see what you're
like
trying to make.
when PlayStation 4 was at the end of its lifespan, I picked up a bundle with Spider-Man for $200. And I was like, dude, yeah, PlayStation 4 has $200 system. Why not? I don't play anything on PlayStation, but I know they got good games and I want to try out Spider-Man. But there's nothing that's telling me that this console generation is going to go anywhere close to that. Mm-hmm. And right now, companies are not doing anything to fight back on the tariffs. Mm-hmm. I think Amazon is like the only one right now who's seriously like, yeah, we're going to put the tariff cost on all of our products so that people can see how much you're paying in tariffs. And so like,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, and that of all things, it's like, of all the power that companies have to lobby people in government, this is the one where they're like, nah, we're just going to roll over and raise the cost of our products. It's like, really? Really? With all your billions and your lobbyists and your lawyers, that's the thing that you're going to roll over on? We're going to get to the epic Apple story later, hopefully, if we have time. But it's just surprising to me, dude. It's so stupid that this is the thing that they're like, oh yeah, we're going to make it harder for people to enjoy the stuff that we have because someone else somewhere decided that it was a good idea to try and screw around with government policies and stuff.
So a couple things. The Bezos thing got canceled. President Trump put in a phone call, and my understanding, and this is anecdotal because I don't follow it close enough to depress me every day, but like, yeah, that is no longer a thing. However, Amazon is still fighting back on legal sides, and Microsoft has switched law firms to oppose Trump on quite a few of these. So the argument that the President Trump's administration is making is that this is a short-term penalty, frustration, difficulty, and a long-term gain overall. Now, those are subjective terms as it is, but what they're trying to do is pressure, beat up, and move people around into doing what they want. But these companies that start losing profits, they tend to command more power in politics than any elected official. So it's very likely that you do see changes come about. The bigger element is I think some people miss that one, anybody that doesn't buy video games or hardware, like I work with a number of adults who would vote for one person or another and have no idea that this is why this is happening. They're going to think it's Microsoft doing this or PlayStation doing this. And that is a red flag. But also these are having worldwide ramifications, not strictly American, in the same way that Brexit and some of the UK laws have changed technology worldwide. You have a USB-C on everything. Xbox's control over Activision in the UK is different than it is in other places in the world. Ubisoft gets to command its cloud locations because, right? So many aspects of this are frustrating for any number of reasons, for any number of people with any number of viewpoints. But the bottom line is our hobby has always been too cheap, too inexpensive comparatively. And for one reason or another, it's now catching up. The question, and I remember this is a deep cut. Long ago on the IGN podcast feeds when it was 3 Red Lights and Podcast Beyond, and it was Greg and Colin and Beyond, and I forget his name over in 3 Red Lights, but this is long ago. They talked about how cheap games are compared to other hobbies and such. And it really feels like there's a big shift. But the part that pisses me off, and I apologize for the tirade here, we get news about Titanfall having a game canceled, whether it's Titanfall 3 or not, as the thumbnail might suggest. We don't know, but it's in that universe.
Yeah.
You've got, I think it's Andrew Wilson, the CEO, making millions upon millions of dollars and then pretending that profits are the issue. Beyond me. beyond me. While you prep that bean, I know you've got a point you want to make too. Big Mad Mo in the house says, good looking suit, Luke. Thank you. See quite a few of you doing that. I appreciate you all. Thank you. I'm wearing the suit because of you guys. Logan's doing these beans every 5 minutes. Thanks to Clutch Kwando. Every $50 I'm doing it. So it just sucks to be you. Which one was that, Logan?
That was another old bandage.
Old bandage. Okay. Gross. Oh man. Yeah, I'm definitely not as brave as you. I'm still feeling that one that I had. Oh,
really?
Yeah, I'm a sensitive little boy. But I will give you a thumbs up.
Ugh.
Or you want the grumpy one?
It's a post bean. Yeah, dude. I like that we're seeing places in growths and services where Microsoft is strong. But this has always been Microsoft's forte. They have always been good at services. They dominate when cloud structure comes into conversation, because them and Amazon are like basically it, and maybe Google, if you want to look at it. And it's just it's really frustrating to me, because as someone who likes physical things and appreciates like the ideology behind having a physical retention on a product and stuff like that, it's really frustrating when I look at this and I see hardware is down 6% year over year. We had a huge spike, and there's actually a really good video out by Alana Pierce talking about how the game industry is effectively cooked right now because of COVID, and how much growth there was, and how basically there was a rise that analysts were predicting year over year growth exponentially over what happened as a result of 2020. And when that didn't happen in 2023, we are going to now see a future where we're continuing to see closures. We're continuing to see canceled projects. We're going to see the cost of games going up for consumers. We're going to see the cost of everything else go up. And it's like, yeah, the golden era of inexpensive games and inexpensive hardware is gone. We are never going to see another $300 console at this point. It's just there's not, which to me,
adjusted for inflation or in general, because you got to think dollar amounts change and shift every few years.
Even if the dollar goes up, that's not going to change like what the margin is going to be. Companies, there's no Microsoft doesn't. They could solve the world with their money, but they're not. So what are they going to do?
There's a lot of people that could solve the world with their money. I feel like we might be getting too meta on this one.
Fair. But my point being is that costs rarely ever drop nowadays. Like rarely do we ever see drops in costs. So I don't expect this hobby to really get cheaper the way it was, just because the market resets itself as far as like where they're at with this. What I do see happening is a reduction in adoption for younger generations. Younger generations are not going to justify playing games that cost that much. They're going to stick to Fortnite. They're going to stick to any game that they're jumping into that they might already own. It's much easier for younger generations to justify a small $20 microtransaction for their favorite game that they've been playing for the last 8 years than it is for them to try a new experience, which means that more studios are going to have a harder time getting new IP out. There's going to be lower adoptions to new titles releasing at launch. People are going to wait for sales, because I don't know about you, but it's going to be really, really hard for me to justify spending $80 on a game when I know in 6 months I'll get it for cheaper.
All right, so let's have a conversation about Game Pass in just a moment. First, Mr. Babbitt drops in with a $2 super chat, says, suit looks right on you, bud. You know he's dunking on me, but that does bring you to a $5 spot, my friend. Thanks to Nissa doing the 3. So you're up for another bean.
I should have specified that it's like $5 at like in one shot.
You should have, but you didn't.
Yeah.
However, if you're sometimes upset, we're not going to make you sick. Let's see here. While we're doing that, while you're about to take that bean, I figure now's a good spot to talk about and just thank our patrons real quick. Go for it. I did switch it to where you can do an annual subscription over on Patreon if that's your jam. It's a little bit cheaper that way also. But Clutch Kwando jumped in, and it was Clutch Kwando and one other person that helped us out last time. Oh, Aaron G up to tier 3. Grateful to you guys. You're so helpful. We really appreciate you. Thank you all. How was that being real quick?
Bad.
What was it?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm going to read
either
these
wet dog or barf.
Gross. Ew. Gross. Ew. Okay. I'm going to read these patrons real quick and thank everybody. Then we'll get back to it. Freight Conductor, you are $40 from hooking. Oh, no, 35 from getting me in there. All right. Let's see. Loop. We want to say thank you to... I got to clear his comment off. Thank you to Clutch Kwando, Omen, Jesse Prius, Fatto, Aaron G, Nick Bentley, The Scarecrow, Ken Rosing, Fabian Winkler, Regis Stella, the Brony Pirate, Rob Frawley II, Tao Zochi, Nicholas Johnson, Randolph Thor 19, Hafrican, Game Positive, Jampack Sam, Rick Davis, Matt Valdez, Red Beast, Dano 12, DJ Hero, Brendan Myers, aka the Winter Gamer, the Lord Sir Master James Suddy, and Sony's VP of Marketing, Kevin Butler. Thank you guys for supporting us over at patreon.com/Xbox Expansion Pass. We appreciate you, especially when times are tight. I will say and say again, in the wake of us fundraising, Iron Lord's fundraising, Xbox Era fundraising, with Polygon passing, with Giant Bomb having to go the way of the dodo, all of these people are working hard to try and bring you content and enjoy the medium. Support them however you can, to include us. If that's likes, if that's shares, if that's view time, we appreciate it. If you can support monetarily without overextending yourself, that's fantastic. Support the creators that make the content you like without overextending yourself, because times are tight for all. And we get it. We get it. All right, let's see here. No. I want to see him throw up, says Mr. Badbit. I'm more likely to lose it than he is. But we are currently at 2280 of our 2500 goal, I believe. So that's we're at 91%. So nice. doing well. Very grateful and appreciative, guys. All right, Logan, let's see here. With these prices, I want to talk about Game Pass. Game Pass did not go up. While controllers and consoles all did, Game Pass did not. And as I alluded to earlier in the show, Game Pass has given you Avowed, South of Midnight, Doom, Towerborn, Oblivion Remastered, Clair Obscur, all in like 4 months time, plus Sniper Elite in there, plus I think it's Citizen Sleeper, Blueprints, Balatro, like all of these games that are well reviewed. Truly, I think this is the best window of time I've ever seen for Game Pass. We've had some good months and years of Game Pass. Yeah. This is the best one. Game Pass not going up. I make the argument with a touch of copium, right? Because there's no way to get around costs going up, prices going up being good. At the very least, this does suggest once again, if games are going to be $70, $80, $90, maybe more, Game Pass is more valuable by default. That's the argument I would make. I'm not saying not saying they're doing it to move Game Pass, but if you can stack Game Pass anywhere, you should. You just should. That would be my argument. What do you think?
No, I agree. It's easy for me to justify jumping into Clair Obscur, Blueprints, Atomfall, multitude of games outside of the first party content, because I'm already getting Indiana Jones. I'm already getting Doom. I'm already getting all these first party games, plus what I already owned beforehand. So for me, like, Game Pass is still a win. And the fact that the price hasn't gone up shows to me that they are cognizant.
It's gone up again, because it did go up
again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. To be fair, it hasn't as yet to go up again. But the fact that it hasn't shows to me that they understand that Game Pass is their bread and butter. They're raising the console price. They're raising the accessory price. They're raising the game cost because they can, knowing that that's going to just supplement the low sales. And if anything, I think it's just going to price them out of the market even more. But they are very much just looking to try and shore up costs where they can, because maybe sales on other ecosystems aren't doing nearly as well. We did see reports that like Indiana Jones is like that one of the highest pre-orders that they've seen over on PlayStation 5, but that doesn't necessarily.
I did link that somewhere in our notes.
I remember seeing the article. It was a nice article talking about how basically like they were saying like they were not expecting Indiana Jones to do as well in pre-orders over on PlayStation 5, but something like that is nice to see, but that doesn't necessarily take care of the costs altogether or help afford that that's going to help keep Game Pass costs down. At the end of the day, I hope that Game Pass doesn't go up in cost, because right now that is how I am enjoying a majority of new experiences when I'm not playing like my staples. Because like I said, I'm back in WoW. I've been playing Heroes of the Storm. I've got Sea of Thieves. There's Call of Duty. There's Fortnite. There's all these games that I'm already bought into that are still going, that I have no reason to drop because they're still good experiences. And I'm still, bugs and cheaters aside, I'm still having a really good time in them. So when I look at, what should I be playing next? Well, it's going to be whatever's coming out on Game Pass, because that is the cheapest way for me to consume content. It's just like how I approach new shows and on streaming services. It's like, what's available to me on the services that I'm subscribed to. Not, should I go and buy a new season of this on a Steelbook for something that I haven't seen? Like, how many people go out and watch a TV show or buy a TV show season that they've never watched before, knowing that that's a much cheaper buy-in for roughly the same amount of hours for compared to games? And it's like, people don't want to do that. So Game Pass is that blockbuster for me. Game Pass is, like on Friday nights, I'm looking at Game Pass, looking at that and being like, man, I'm so glad I got this membership, because it lets me just go and enjoy a movie without having necessarily go in full cost. And we're looking at games like Arc Raiders and Marathon, and there's questions about whether or not these should be like paid games at all, because you're trying to adopt a large pool of players from one game to another. And if your game's free to play, you're going to get a lot of adoption. You're also going to get a lot of cheaters. And if you put a paywall behind it, you're going to potentially, harm the amount of players that are going to jump into it. So it's like, I'm looking at something like Arc Raiders and I'm like, if Microsoft has any sway at all, they need to go in and make this a day one Game Pass deal.
Which one? Arc Raiders?
Arc Raiders. Yeah. Just based on the zeitgeist. Because right now, I as much as it feels like it is copium, the Game Pass still the best deal in gaming out there, which is even more like prevalent given the costs in rising that. And the fact that we aren't seeing a rise in Game Pass adoption with them opening up more ecosystems is concerning, because it shows to me that people don't play enough, that there aren't gamers that are looking for games and just waiting for a good deal. They're just no gamers. So I'm worried that there's just a maturation of this market at this point.
It's a maturation or a saturation?
Maturation. Like we've found the gamers, and that if they're not playing console and PC right now, they're playing mobile, and they're sticking to mobile. Also, I got a blue one, so I don't know what the blue ones are.
Oh God.
Toothpaste or berry blue, we'll see.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, it's another toothpaste.
Gross. That's not good. The thing is, I think that's why they stick with mobile and all that, but I think that's why cloud is the answer. Like xCloud is the answer, because I mean, we have given an entire 2 generations of youth laptops when they get to school. Argue COVID, argue anything. The reality is we've given them laptops and they don't care about the hardware. They want to play the game on that laptop. So they've been using xCloud. They've been using other cloud platforms to get to the game because that's what they care about. It's just a difference of value. I mean, this is a parallel but like I care a great deal about the name InsipidGhost. That name matters to me so much, Logan. I've had that since 2006. There's a reason I have it. There's a reason it means what it means. To me, it is precious. But to a lot of younger kids, their usernames are just ways so they can play. It doesn't have the value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that's the factor for it. Tim Per 21 in chat says that Matt Piscatella interview with Greg Miller tells us all we need to know about the wider gaming market is like, not us listening to a gaming pod on Saturday. I can't tell if that's a veiled diss at us. I have not listened to that interview. Would you mind dropping in a few tidbits, Tim? Because I would love to know what it was. But also, I think if you're listening to a gaming podcast on Saturday, we appreciate you and thank you.
Also, I'll say I know nothing about markets, so I'm just gleaming off of what other people say, because honestly, like I said, Alana Pierce's video on that was it's a long video, but it is a very well thought out video, and it very much did call out to the points. It's like this industry is going to have a lot of hardships, and a lot of it's because there was a huge spike because of COVID. And we're still seeing the fallout. No pun intended.
There you go. All right, Logan. So Grand Theft Auto, shifting gears now to Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto, it was announced to be officially delayed from 2025 all the way to, I want to say it is May 2026. Yep, it is. May 26. Looks like this is going to be, well, I'm going to rephrase this. A lot of people, myself included, people way above me in terms of like knowing things included, all kind of knew this was going to happen. It's kind of been an open secret amongst people that were in the know, and I'm not in the know. I just get to talk to people that are in the know. You can look at our interview list for that one, but like we kind of knew this was going to happen. The problem that I have with this one is that it is not the injection the games industry might have needed to fuel console sales for the Christmas season, the shopping season, that kind of thing. However, a lot can happen between now and May 2026, tariffs and otherwise. Will game prices still be super expensive? Could they come down? Because no matter what the industry standard is, Grand Theft Auto can be higher. Nintendo can be higher. And if those two are coming around, that's a big deal. Anubis says, spoiler alert, is not coming out in May either. I agree with you, my friend. I think you're looking at holiday 2026 for sure. But I really wonder if this is a good or bad thing. I like that it's made waves. You've frozen on my screen up to the back. I like that it's made way for other titles because we were going to have a crowded fall. Borderlands 4. I finally saw footage of that, Logan. That game looks real good.
Yeah.
Game looks real good. I loved Borderlands 1 and 2. Loved it. I played Borderlands 2 on everything. A 360, a Vita, a PlayStation 3, a PlayStation 4, on my Xbox One. I love Borderlands 2. Borderlands 3, I was out quick. Oh, here comes another bean. This one's white.
Are you updating this number?
You should be at 8 now. Maybe 9. Are you at 9?
I think I'm at 9. You didn't count the Band-Aid or the toothpaste one, did
You're
you?
right. I did not.
Did you get the Band-Aid one before that?
Would you like to be at 10? Are you saying you're at 10? I think you're at 9.
I'm making
you're
sure.
You're a trooper. You're a damn trooper. I can't do it. Good on you.
I don't even know what that one was. I think
we're $30 off from $35 off from me handling one. By the way, shout out to Anubis, who over on Patreon edited his membership to do a year-long one at once.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know we're talking about GTA, but yeah, the whole Epic versus Apple thing has opened up some avenues. $5 or 5-minute timer has been reset, by the way. GTA being delayed is both a good thing for GTA developers, also a bad thing for any devs that were trying to escape in that area. So if GTA 6 was going to come out in 2025, we had a feeling, or at least I had a feeling, Fable would have actually had an honest opportunity at Game of the Year if that was the case, because it looks really good, and I'm really interested in that. Borderlands 4 coming out, I'm glad that they're showing footage of that. They bumped up the release date. Ironically, they were going to be releasing on the same day as GTA 6, and now now they're not. Now they're going earlier and not even having to worry about it. So, that video, for what it was nice to see that they feel confident with Borderlands 4. I saw a great tweet or blue sky post about Digital Devolver saying you can't escape us because they promised back in like 2024, 2023 that they would release a game on the same day as GTA 6. So they are most definitely looking to produce something. But it's one of those things that I wanted to just kind of acknowledge. Like we always say that delaying a game is going to be better. It's okay to delay a game. We got plenty of games to play. We're not missing a game. It sucks for GTA fans. It really does, because it's just, there's memes out there about Grand Theft Auto 5 being available portably before we got Grand Theft Auto 6. If GTA 6 doesn't come out in 2026 and it comes out in 2027, are we even going to have a GTA this generation? Like, are we going to have a Rockstar game this generation? And I'm very concerned.
And you can make an argument. Meanwhile, I will call out briefly, my friend. $20 super chat from Freight Conductor. I'm sorry, Logan, trying to get Vault Boy. Yeah, you guys are close. I think it's like 10, 15 bucks away from me eating another one. So you have 4. So sorry, my friend. I don't know why you
I appreciated Bacon's comment earlier. I think Luke should do one. Luke should do one for support of Logan having to do so many. I appreciate
I'm wearing a Vault costume. I've made the shorts. All right. I'm having to starve myself because my belly, no matter how much I work out, my belly gets bigger because of the muscles. So it just looks bad. It's very embarrassing. I think Grand Theft Auto is going to be a great launch title for several systems. They're going to have an update for the PlayStation 6 and Xbox, and that's going to be awesome because we need that. We need a reason to do it. Cross-gen was good during the first 2 years, but it hung on too long. And like truly, Xbox and PlayStation failed to motivate games like Fortnite and live service elements to bump up more aggressively. And that is why I think why the industry is struggling, because those live services stayed on that weaker hardware. Luke, just a heads up, I too also said my stomach looks bigger because my muscles are pushing out or whatever. That's funny. No, I have my father's body. So looking good. Have a like. Thanks, my friend. Thanks.
Logan, all men get dad bods at some point. So
it's true, but
saying
but
you have your
like
father's body.
I can see the, like, when I'm like working out, I'm like, my arms, my legs, and then my belly's like, brr. I'm like, wait, no, because that happens in the kitchen, and I really like cookies, and I'm stress eating time of year. You know what I'm saying?
I saw a great post the other day of someone being like, day 1 of not eating cookies, day 2 of not eating cookies, day 1 of not eating cookies.
Yeah, there you go.
Same day, 20 minutes later, not eating cookies.
Yes, I do have that problem. Logan, you have 4 more beans that you got to get to.
Yeah.
No press.
I mean, I'm setting a timer.
Well, these are different. These are not the Clutch Kwando ones. You're about done.
I know.
That. Okay, all right. I just feel bad, but I don't feel bad. Let me rephrase. I would never pick $5 a bean. I can't. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're a good man. You're a good man. I think we're $10 away from me doing one, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep. If my math is right,
at some point I'm actually going to start running into good ones.
I'm sure that's going to happen. Where's Jen? Is she watching this happen? Because that's wild.
Yeah, that was a little bandage again. I don't like that one.
Gross.
I'm up to 10.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let me adjust this for you. You're a trooper, and I appreciate it.
I don't like that one.
Yeah. You keep getting that one.
I mean, it just means I'm getting rid of the bad ones.
I don't think that's how it works, buddy.
It's going to be
bad.
I got a 50% chance, they said.
Yeah, they're lying. There's no way. There's no way. Let's see here. What do we want to talk about? Polygon. Oh, Epic Fortnite. I honestly don't know much about this one, and I don't want to be that guy that doesn't know.
Okay,
to
so
speak on this. Do you want to talk about this one?
remember like when the Activision Blizzard King thing came out, and shortly before then, Epic had started a lawsuit with Apple saying like, "Hey, we're pulling Fortnite from the iOS store if you don't let us earn money without your Apple tax, your 30%, your 27% cut of every microtransaction. You don't do this for other apps. You don't like. There's a reason. Like, we just saw an update to the Xbox app that allows us to purchase our games through the Xbox app. That's because of this this deal. Basically, what happened was Apple complied with the government, or the judgment, saying that they need to be more open with their ecosystem.
I remember that.
And not necessarily charge the 30% on things. Apple kind of complied. The judge saw what was going on and was like, "Nah, this isn't good enough." Apple was like, you didn't really specify. So finally, they're just like, "No, you know what? You're not allowed to charge people." And as a result, Epic, Xbox, they basically won at this point. At the end of the day, they've won what they wanted, which was to be able to sell content through iOS versions of their stores without having to pay Apple 30%. And I can't remember who I saw online post this, but it was a fantastic a combination. It's like ordering a pizza from Domino's and Verizon expecting a 30% because you used your phone to do it. Like there's a very, very much in the sense, like, this is going to be good for companies because it's going to reopen that iOS avenue for funds.
Right.
But at the same time, it's better competition. It means Apple's going to have to actually do something to make up those sales, because there's a lot of money that was pushing through Fortnite that they were making money on, and Epic was sick of it. Shout out to Epic, by the way, constantly giving me free games. I have a very large library of games from them, none of which I paid for and none of which I've played.
I do want to, that in my mind, from Epic Game Store and Xbox to me have a lot of parallels. They give you the best value to your dollar in the industry for their like medium. No one pays attention.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
It's so odd.
Nobody wants the cheap, trashy thing. They want the premium, high priced thing. That's why PlayStation is doing so well.
Good news for them, because Xbox is now the high priced thing. God bless. Enjoy.
So Epic says that Fortnite's going to be back on iOS within, I think, the coming weeks. Xbox is now able to sell games through their app on iOS, if that's what you want to do. Which at that point, all I have to say is just get Game Pass. It's going to be probably on there. Chances are.
So strange to me. Well, I go back to it. Like, it could be, the problem is it sounds like copium when you say get Game Pass, because we're an Xbox podcast, but it's really just that good. Oh, hold on, let me update the time, because we're 92% funded on our goal, but now I gotta keep updating this overlay. Worried for you.
Okay, this is either going to be Stinky Socks or Stink Bug again. I'm not sure. I'm going to be digging this one.
Who would? Oh, that got him. Oh, that one got him. Ooh, that got him. I saw that one happen. I was like, sorry, buddy. Oh, I think we broke him. You alive over there? Nope, he's not good. All right.
No, I don't like this one. That's not a good one.
Freight Conductor, good sport of the show, says Epic Launcher is lacking in many of the quality of life features to Steam. Agree. But then I go back to, who cares about that when I see kids booting up on their Chromebooks to play their games? Like, quality of life, they care about playing for free. And a lot of our kiddos are playing on Roblox. They're playing in free-to-play spaces. They're playing in anywhere they can get their hands on to play. They're not worried about quality of life stuff. And then I'm not dunking on your logic, because to me, quality of life matters a lot, right? I adore my Steam Deck. Adore it.
But we're also buying the high price stuff. We're paying for the quality. We're not the kids that are looking for the access.
True.
And I think that's the difference. Is there's a difference between people who are in our position, where because access is not a question, quality becomes the discussion. Whereas for a lot of people, just having access is enough. And that's why I feel like things like the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation do so well. They have the most access to the best software. And just having access to it, even as a casual gamer, is going to be one of those things where you are going to go gravitate towards there as well too. Also, yeah, Gentle Stone points out a really good thing. Amazon Prime constantly releasing new games that are coming out, as far as, or new Prime things, like their Star Wars. You could get the whole Star Wars collection, the complete saga, and Galactic Battleground saga for free right now if you're a Prime member. It's just an added bonus. Yeah. So like they're constantly I have so many free games. I could stop buying video games for the rest of my life and have enough content through these two sites to give me enough to play without ever having to buy another game. Like I just, if I disconnected from the internet, downloaded all these games and played them until the end of time, I'm old enough at this point that I would probably still have enough games to serve me till the end of time. But going back to the difference of the Epic launcher versus what we were talking about, it very much is like access. If I have access to Epic, then I don't care if I have to buy through them or not. I'll buy wherever it's cheaper because I have access. But if I don't have access, then I'm going to be looking for the best deal to get access.
Fair point. I just sent out 5 XEP memberships to anybody that wants to make use of them. Enjoy those super cool emojis. And I did see that Freight Conductor, I believe it was Freight Conductor, earlier asked for a Vault Boy emoji. Yes, I will make that for next episode for sure. I got you. And on Cloud, Backbone is sending me the Xbox Cloud controller thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a little mini video on that one as well.
Nice.
Just to talk about that. So I am looking forward to looking at that one because it's the green one, Xbox button. And I already have a Backbone, which, Logan, do you mean to bring you my other Backbone? They're good. Are you an Android user?
No.
Oh, okay.
I am stuck with iPhone. I just had to buy a used iPhone because I actually broke the screen
That's a bummer.
I don't know if you can see that line right there at the top there.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Line of dead pixels on my phone. So that all the Xbox and the Switch that I traded in at GameStop and I got that $500. That was a refurbished iPhone at this point. So
yeah, no Switch. That's a bummer, buddy. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I am getting the Switch. I'm just gonna. It was, I just happened to like trade in 2 consoles for the sake of, because I got my pre-orders for my Switch like through Best Buy and Walmart, so I couldn't just use my GameStop credit. So I had $500 of GameStop credit sitting around there. So I was like, all right, well,
makes sense.
I need the phone now. So that was just one of those things. But yeah, I'm stuck on iPhone. But no, I'm glad that, and it's one of these things. It's going to continue to make me wonder where the console, because I mean, remember when iPhones and tablets came out and people were spending discretionary money on those as opposed to consoles, and everyone's like, I don't know if consoles are going to be a thing, fam. And we got the PS4 and we got the Xbox One, and those ended up being consoles that define generations for a lot of folks as far as like content goes. So I feel like we're in another position right now where we're watching the market shrink. We are questioning, why we need to pick up new games when the games that we're playing are just fine. And at this point, it's very interesting to kind of look at Microsoft try and position themselves as the de facto Xbox kind of cloud streaming platform, where Sony's not interested in that as much. And it makes me wonder if they're trying to do the thing that they always try to do, which is get ahead of the game and then realize that the market isn't ready for that. And by the time they pivot away because they realize it's not working, that's when everyone else catches up. And then everyone's sitting here and it's like, I don't get it. I don't know why people are excited about a camera on a console. We had this back with the Xbox One and people are, but it's just, now's the right time.
All right. Logan, we got some listener questions that I want to get to. First one comes from Todd Oxtra, who, by the way, has been dunking on Xbox on all of his platforms. Don't think I haven't noticed that, sir. Oh, there goes another bean. Survey says, oh, that one got him too.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, I don't like that color.
I'm gonna have to you know what I'm gonna have to do is like have a
I think that's like stink bug.
bean. Yeah, gross. Let's see here. All right, so Todd Oxtra says, with Switch 2 setting the bar for next gen with $450 for the base and $80 games, is the console space no longer affordable for mainstream players? Also, what's your prediction for launch price of Xbox systems? So, is it no longer affordable for mainstream players? The console space. No, it's still affordable, but you're getting less of them because they're going to access it via cloud, via their phones and their laptops and PCs, etc. And as far as my prediction for the launch price of Xbox systems, you're probably looking everything to be $800 and $900.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Honestly, I am going to see, like, the Switch 2 is going to be very, very key in showing how many people are willing to actually buy that console. Mm-hmm. We saw a wild, like people were surprised that sites were going down for the Switch 2 launch, as if we didn't do this back 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this happens, you know, maybe once or twice a decade that these sites have to worry about this stuff. So them building the infrastructure to handle the workload of one, you know, pre-order for a console generation, that's not something they care about.
Right.
So don't be surprised when the next line of consoles pre-orders come up and the sites crash again, because they don't care. You're still going to sit there and click the button as much as you can to try and get in and whatnot. And it doesn't matter like what you try and do. It's always going to be bad experience. Mm-hmm. But if the Switch 2 sells well, that is going to show other console manufacturers, just like with the games, that the cost can go up and people will still pay. It's what the market will bear. And that just, it's gonna matter for a lot of people. Like, I justified my Switch 2 by getting rid of a Switch and an Xbox Series X. I, at this point, am going to be looking at whatever the next console launch is. And I have to agree, if we're looking at consoles that are $700 right now, by the time the next generation comes out in 3 years, they are probably going to be close to $900. And I don't think people should be surprised by that, because the just the GPUs alone right now for PC is at minimum around a $1,000 just for the GPU.
Right.
That's not accounting for the other $2,000 worth of components that you need to build a console. And yeah, you can build budget stuff, but if you're going to build a PC, you typically want to build for something that is going to last a while. Like, I have a 4080 Super GPU in my PC right now. I still have to lower certain settings on some games to get better frame rates. Like, there are still compromise on a 4080 Super that is barely a year old at this point. And that is just how gaming progresses. The consoles will always be behind that, and the cost will go up the closer to GPUs they get.
All right. Let's see here. This one comes from our friend Kevin Ainsworth over at Project X Talk. And I have not watched the episode this week.
I got a yellow one this time.
He's got a yellow one. Are you up to 13?
Yeah, this will be 13.
All right. So you're up to 13.
No more donations for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't think we're going to have enough time to get to the 17.
To get to the 17? Oh. No, you can still donate, guys. I'm like $10 off. So yeah, definitely. All right. So this one comes from our buddy Kevin Ainsworth, and it says, with Game Pass increase almost assuredly coming soon, what's the price point at which you think consumers say, okay, that's too much at? I think it's already there. I think nobody's going above 20. If you go above 20 for your subscription, it's too much. Oh, I got him too. You're going too much at that point. If you go more than 25, I'm done. Like, I am not doing that, even though financially it does net out. I talked about all those games I've played on Game Pass this year. I talked about all the stuff that I played in years past. Like I had a great summer last year, but I'm done at 25. How am I? That's just not a appropriate amount for a subscription. No, thank you. Nope.
Yeah.
And I'm a diehard defender of Game Pass. 20 is enough. No more.
Yeah, I think at this point, like, because I have PlayStation Plus on my console. I actually have to remember to go boot it up because I haven't booted it up in a month, and I need to like
your app on your phone can do that.
Oh yeah, that's true. I could do that.
PlayStation's app is and you add to library, which is very easy.
So it's like I have a PlayStation subscription for PS Plus to get the free games that you have to keep PS Plus if you want to be able to play them. But it's one of those situations where looking at what they're offering for Game Pass, the only thing that really keeps me at Ultimate is the EA Play membership, the new games day one, and the PC cloud stuff. But to be perfectly honest, most of the games that I have right now, if I'm not playing on my console, I might just switch over to PC because that is still $12 a month. I still get new games day one. I still get EA Play membership, and I still get the PC games over there. And as Xbox is releasing all of their games on PC, if I don't need the console version of it because I'm not playing on my console anymore, Ultimate has less value to me, which means I might just switch from Ultimate at $20 to PC at 12, because 12 is a heck of a lot better for someone who plays predominantly on PC now.
I think that's exactly what you should do. I would do that now almost.
Well, I mean, I've already got Ultimate paid for.
Fair, but I would say like non-renewal.
Yeah,
why not? Bacon saying PC is the answer for everything. I think he's right. Yep.
You don't have to pay for multiplayer. You don't have to pay for cloud saves.
Yep.
It's all
he's
just
right.
there.
Can't argue it. My friend just messaged me and said, I watched your Fallout short. You could use a good pair of Spanx. What a rude and disrespectful person. How dare. God, this question comes from our friend Nissa. Nissa says, do you think prices going up buying used would be a good idea too? Used prices were always going up anyway because the medium is dying, and so they're more and more niche, as it were. And so I don't think anyone's going to be switching to used on average. It would be interesting to see if our buddy Anubis sees more traffic at Xbox. I'm sorry, at a GameStop because of this. Is this your last bean for the show?
Are we out of time?
No, we're not out of time. I just don't want to keep rushing you. It's your 14th.
It's 14.
There's your 14.
Ugh, black licorice.
Dude, black licorice is such a good flavor compared to the others.
Just as bad.
By the way, next week, I think we should do a normal episode. Have guests, talk about stuff. Just for flow's sake. I feel like we're asking everybody at the wrong time. But also trying to get to LA. It's a terrible, terrible position to be in.
Which, speaking of, it's going to be fantastic, by the way. The stuff that we've got going on, we can't talk about.
Oh, you mean as far as our appointments? Yeah.
As far as like appointments and what's going on there, it's going to be amazing. So we're going to try and get as much of that content to you as possible, which is part of the reason why we're doing these fundraisers, is so that we can help try and get content to you guys as well, too. So that way, even though you aren't going with us, we want you to feel like you're there. So we're going to be trying to do live streams and stuff like that. Like I've got my lapel mic. I'm getting my my next phone. So
live streams?
Hopefully. Huh? Yeah. Live streams. Like I'm probably going to be trying to live stream when I can, outside of like bathrooms and bedrooms. So that way I can actually like show you guys the content but I don't know what the rules are there. So it's going to be there, but we're going to be trying to do that kind of stuff.
There are places where we can film.
Yeah.
Places where we can't. The stuff that we've booked for Saturday, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games we're seeing on Saturday right now. And then we have nothing the rest of like our stuff is all in queue. But our Saturday is mostly full. For appointments, but then we've got Sunday and Monday also. So, and Sunday morning we're doing Ains's event where we're going to be at the Xbox event, but it's not Xbox that's doing it.
Yeah.
It's the fan event that is being hosted by Ains and a few others. Walkerman, I think, and Ben is in there. So that'll be a fun thing. We're attending that. I don't know what is going to happen with that one. I will say to my fellow content creator people, if you are going to SGF, we want to meet up. I've got little pins that Anubis is making for us. That's going to be really cool. I'm seeing about the t-shirts and then for people, but then also what is the other thing? Oh, if any developers are listening to this or PR people listen to this, I hope so. We'll be at SGF if we want to see your games. We've got cool stuff that we're scheduled. So
we'll eat beans for access.
No, we will not. We will not. No, I'm wearing a Fallout outfit. I love you guys. Yeah. Let's see here. I think that's it. Does anybody else in chat have a question for us that we have not addressed? As for used games, GameStop keeping the prices fairly
good
high.
one.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, thank God, a good one.
Did you read another one?
Yeah.
All right, you did 15. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. I'm watching our chat to make sure we don't miss anything else. And I'm scrolling through our list. I think we're pretty much wrapping up here.
I will say that as far as game prices for used content, I do expect those to go up as well, too. Because the markets, like there was a discussion that I had in my Discord about whether or not GameStop knew about the price hike when they offered the higher trade-in credit for the Xbox and the PlayStation 5 Pro and stuff like that. I don't think that they knew about that. I think that they were just looking to refresh their warehouses with hardware. But I would expect prices to go up for used when that happens with and General Stone immediately asking, do you think GameStop knew about the price hike? Anubis comes in and says they absolutely knew. I mean, if that's the case,
yes, they knew.
Then I'm very surprised that they offered as much as they did for the PlayStation 5 Pro, because that is not something that has gone up in price yet.
It will. They wanted to get in as much inventory as they could, and then if they put you out a console, if you buy a console and then prices go up, people are going to trade those in. It ups their cycle.
So the logic to me doesn't quite fall in, because if I'm GameStop, I'm going to offer more trade-in value when the prices go up to match what they were prior, because I'm trying to maintain or grow margins on this.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, offering near market value for 5-year-old hardware seems to me that was more low inventory that they wanted to be able to get on hand for a short period of time as also a bait in to get people to pre-order the Switch 2. Because we found out about that after we knew when the Switch 2 pre-orders would go live. It was for a short amount of time, and it was for hardware that wasn't increasing. So that's my perspective on that. Because if they knew, then that's an odd timing. I would say raise the cost of your trading credit after the prices go up. But that's just my perspective on it.
There's so many scenarios that it does play out, that it does work, you know? So, alrighty, guys. Well, that is going to be, I think, largely it for us, because we have had one fantastic time. Are you doing one more? He's doing one more, everybody. Okay. How was that one?
Not offensive.
Not offensive.
I have no clue.
Okay.
I'm going to say Tutti Frutti.
Tutti Frutti. That's all right. That doesn't sound bad. So, I am so excited. One, I hope everybody checks out the Night Dive interview. That was an enjoyable one. If you like Star Wars, if you like Doom, if you like Quake, if you like hearing how some of the sauce gets made, some cool stuff that I hope ends up in the Doom 64 wiki. I'm going to say it on the show and then hope somebody clips it or puts it out there from the actual interview. But Logan, you know when Doom 64 was re-released by Night Dive?
No.
And it happened it happened. Id went to Night Dive and said, "Will you make new levels, new content, so we can tie this into Doom Eternal?" To me, that's really cool. So during Doom Eternal's development, they went to Night Dive and said, "Hey, can you make new levels in Doom 64 so we can canonically tie it?" I find that very cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really neat thing. And then if we can get the other what is it interview out, there's some cool stuff in there about Legacy of Rust and what is it Dark Ages and stuff, which is neat. Anubis says, wasn't expecting the Night Dive guy to get emotional. Yeah, he choked up mid-interview, like almost out of nowhere, thinking about his father and playing the remasters and stuff. And it caught me off guard. Steven, really nice guy actually. But it caught me off guard. I was like, what? Okay. Didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know if to give him a second or anything. I was just like, oh, but it was cool to see. And he was really cool on and off air. And there was a cat cameo. So there was that.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Always appreciate your interviews too. It was a good one.
Thanks. We have an option to do a Shovel Knight interview in the next few weeks. It's just a matter of time because they're doing that collection, which my eyes are on that collection. You said you never played Shovel Knight?
I played like 5 minutes of the first, because I bought Shovel Knight Treasure Trove on Switch, and I played like a little bit of it. I was like, okay, I see where they're going with this, and then I never played any more of it after that.
It's so good, man. You need to.
That's just, it didn't hook me for whatever reason. Like I get it, I appreciate it. I am less of a side scroller fan as I used to be. I've discovered this with Mario Wonder. Like I bought Super Mario Wonder on sale, and as much as I love Mario, 2D Mario just isn't doing it for me the way it used to with Mario 3 and Mario World, man. It's just not the same. I don't know. Doesn't feel the same. So it is I'm very much a 3D world. I'm looking forward to the next Donkey Kong, because that looks fun. But yeah, dude, I as much as I respect Shovel Knight and Yacht Club for what they do, for whatever reason, I just haven't gotten into the Shovel Knight games. But I 100% respect them, not only just for what they put out, and I think it would be really cool. The interviews that they've done in the past talking about how easy it was for them to create an amiibo is a fascinating story as well too, because that is something that is a lot easier than people really imagine it being, and they're one of the few third-party companies that has ever done it.
Yep, fair enough. I'm excited for Shovel Knight. I love Shovel Knight, so
yeah,
I know we're on that review list. I'm looking forward to it because I love it. So, all right, man. Well, guys, that's gonna be it for us. Have Logan, tell them where to find you. I'm sorry.
Keelhauled coming out this week. There's a lot to talk about because they did an emergency pass, and then they shut down the Hourglass feature, which is their PvP only version. So the PvP version of the game got shut down temporarily again, and it's just like they, for whatever reason, Rare loves killing their PvP modes, whether it's Arena or whether it's Hourglass. So lots to talk about there. I'm probably not going to be doing a spooky stream to this week. I know the last few weeks I've been doing the Resident Evil 7 and the Dead Space. I'm actually going to be taking a break this week. I've been taking a lot of breaks from streaming this last week. I haven't really streamed a whole lot. A lot of that's because of WoW, to be honest. But today I got to get some stuff done. And so aside from real life stuff, I want to go out and watch Thunderbolts.
Nice.
I haven't gone to go see a movie in a while, and I skipped out on Minecraft and I skipped out on Sinners. I want to go see Thunderbolts. So this weekend is a mental recovery weekend for myself, and not like
you've earned it.
Present. So
you've earned it.
I'll be social next weekend.
Absolutely, you've earned it, man.
Yeah,
you've earned it.
Thank you to everyone for donating as well too. The beans are disgusting, and I'll do a red one as we end out on the show here. Hopefully it's a good one.
Want to see?
Oh, it's a good one. It's a pomegranate. It's not old bandage.
There you go. There you go. All right, everybody. That's going to be it for us. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care.